Good morning. It is Tuesday, December 8th, and I feel so much better today. It looks like my computer is alive. Looks like it's actually working. Lars did something with the computer yesterday. He's been researching like crazy and working so hard, so I'm fingers crossed that that's working out. So I don't have to keep editing on my laptop. So enough about that. Let's open advent calendars. I got my basket here with all the minis from Ravelry. Let's see if we can find number 8. Got it. So this is the progress I made yesterday. So today we will be starting the increases for this mitten. Yeah, but I think this, for now, I'll just open the mini and probably just cake it up. And then I have to go to work. So I will be working on this part when I get back from work. So that's just, now we're just gonna focus on opening the minis. I found number 8. I'm really excited. What are you wishing for? I would like something, I don't know what I want. I think it looks so cute. Maybe something a little bright in the end would be nice. We're not getting bright, but we're getting a good contrast, I think. Look! Petra is just amazing with the speckles on her yarn. I just love how it's never just going crazy. It's always subtle. I just really love. So this goes on top. I really like that, how we are ending with something contrasting to this, and we need something light, I think, to go kind of make this go back with this. I don't know how to explain that, but I think the color scale will look really good with the lighter here than when we have the lighter version down here as well. Okay, I can't wait to get this kicked up and work on the top of the mitten. Also, we need to open the Homespun House Advent calendar. And I have it right here. So number 8 is here. That looks cute. We have a very light purple today. It'll go well with all the other colors that are very bright. I think this is really nice. Okay guys, but let's kick this one up and see if I am just as lucky today with winding up the yarn and having the tip of the yarn be on the top. So when I have to find the center, I will succeed again. Yeah, so let's cake this up. So we got the, I forget to plug in the microphone all the time. Don't even really know if that makes a big difference anyway. Anyway, I got the mini caked up, and I kind of messed that up when I took it off the ball winder. So I'm not sure if it actually worked today. I think it did. I think I just pulled the wrong place. Okay. Get these going. And I'm not gonna do the whole thing now because I have to go to work and I will be back. But I just wanna take a look. I really love this color. I can knit a whole sweater in this. Okay, so you need to try on your mitten. And this is perfect for my hand. And you can see this is how much I have left. Maybe I should measure that. And I have one that has centimeters on one side and inches on the other, so we are all happy. And there's exactly 4 centimeters to the tip of my finger. And these are stretchy because it's garter stitch, so I'm not too worried about that being too tight. Let me just measure a stripe. One stripe is 3 centimeters. So I think I'll just use this one for the whole end of my mitten. So even though that'll be more than 10 rounds, I'll just stick with this one. So I think I can just knit 2 rounds before I start my increases. And that way I can just check out the color, even though I really don't have time to knit too much. Today I have 2 classes, one Danish and one religion. I teach religion as well. Today we are working with philosophy and Søren Kierkegaard. I think in English it's Kierkegaard. But he is actually a Danish philosopher. So that's why I love my job so much, that I can, you know, both like knit, do knitting designs. I actually like editing like videos as well. And then I can go to work and talk about Kierkegaard. You know, so I like that it's so different what I do in a day. Okay. And these kids, they're only 15, 14 and 15. So it's not like university level philosophy. I'm knitting. I'm just so curious to see the contrast in this. And look, it's really looking good. Yeah, so my oldest daughter, Nomi, is in the next room. She's been sick yesterday, not too sick. I don't think it's not COVID. She just has a cold. But so we're just, you know, keeping her home just to be on the safe side. And they have not Zoom meetings, but on like team meetings online, so she can follow school anyway. She's in high school, or a Danish version to high school. She's at the gymnasium. And Esther, my youngest one, she has 1 day of school today, and then she will be sent home to have online schooling for the rest of December until the Christmas holiday. And they have done that in like the areas in Denmark with the capital cities. We only have one capital city, but with the largest cities. So Aarhus, where I live close to Aarhus, they are closing down. The 3rd largest city in Denmark, Odense, where Hans Christian Andersen is from, that area is closing down. And then a lot of areas around Copenhagen. So it's like half the country actually is closing down. So that means that all the schools are closing, restaurants are closing, and yeah, like I said yesterday, movies and movie theaters and stuff like that. But only in those areas. So if you live in another area that's not closed down, you can still go out and have dinner, go to the movies, whatever. And I work in one of those areas, so that is why my school is not closed, because my school where I work is not in Aarhus area. It's further south. Okay. I think I'll just do 2 rounds and then come back this afternoon, and hopefully we will have a little bit more light. It's like let me check, I think it's like 8:30 in the morning, and it's still so dark. If you are tired of this little gap here because you have changed colors, you can just tie a little knot. I do that sometimes just to keep that gap closed because I just think it looks not nice. So I just tuck the ends inside after I'm not gonna tie it so I can untie it again. I just tie it a little bit so when I weave in the ends, it's already kind of closing that little gap. So now I have to stop myself. I could just sit here and continue this knitting, but I have a little more work to do before I actually start the car and go to work. I just wanted to start on these 2 rows or rounds. It's not a row, it's a round, right? So I did that. It's looking good. So now I will work a little and pack my things and get going for work. And I will take you with me. You never know what happens. I'll see you later. I am in the car. I just got off from work. And I'm so happy because the sun is out today. I haven't seen the sun for a few days. So it's very nice to see a little bit of sunshine. So I'm gonna hurry home and see if I can get Esther to post for me today because I really need pictures of the pillow moss mittens. So, Tuesday afternoon, and I already did 2 rows before 2 rounds. Bam! I already did 2 rounds before I left. So depending on how long you want the mitten, maybe you shouldn't knit 2 rounds, maybe you should just start increases right away. Now, increases will start, and on the first needle I will knit 1, I will knit 2 together, then I will knit. Make sure that you have the same number of stitches on the front as you do on the back, so your increases will be all symmetrical. Yeah, I was just counting mine, and just because I'm speaking in English, I was actually counting in English. That is so funny. Okay, so now you just knit until you have 3 stitches left on side 1. And then I like to do the slip knit pass increase. So I have 3 stitches left, so I will slip 1, knit 1, pass that knit stitch over, knit 1. Do the same on the other side and work these increases on every other round. On the knit rounds we do the increases. Decreases, I always mess that up. I always say increases instead of decreases. I don't know why that's so hard for me to get right in my head, but we're not increasing because we don't want our mitten to go like that. We want to go like this. We will be decreasing on every other row, on every other round for the next 10 rounds. And then I will meet you back here. Hello and welcome back. So, can you believe this? Bang! Okay. So, what I chose to do, I was actually not quite sure what I wanted to do once I got to this point, because I wasn't sure if I was going to stay with this last color all the way to the end, or if I was gonna wait for another color tomorrow. Then I wasn't sure how I wanted to close the mittens, if I just want to pull the remaining yarn through the remaining stitches and kind of pull that tight. That has a tendency to kind of make a really, like a very, what is that called? Pointy end of the mitten, and I really don't like that too much. What I have done in some other patterns is that I kind of, if I do the thing when I pull the yarn through the remaining stitches and pull that tight, I kind of stick the needle into the top here and put that inside, and then I kind of pull that down so that the tip goes inside the mitten instead of staying on the top of the mitten. But I think actually, because this looks so cute and rounded, because the garter stitch makes it squish together like this, I think I'm gonna sew this together with Kitchener stitch. I think that'll be the best result, and I think that'll look better. So I chose to stay with the color, the skein for today. I chose to keep knitting with that. And I started out with 22 stitches on each side. So whatever size you are knitting, if you're knitting with 40 or 44 stitches, it is the same. And see, when I measure this, it is exactly 4 stitches, and I actually kind of said that it would be. And I don't want this to get pointier. And when I try it on, I think it's perfect. You know, my finger actually stops right here. So I could maybe do one more round, but I don't think I want to, because I think it'll stretch a little. So what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna cut my yarn. I'm gonna leave in, how long is that? I don't know, something like this. So I have enough yarn, so we do the Kitchener stitch. I have already made a tutorial on how to work the Kitchener stitch, so I'm not gonna be showing you now. On my tutorial how to work the afterthought heel, if you find, I will link that video down below, and when you click that link, you get to that tutorial, and it will tell you when I do the Kitchener stitch. So even though it's a longer tutorial about the afterthought heel, it says in the show notes to that video exactly where to fast forward, the point to fast forward to, so you get to the Kitchener stitch point. So I'm letting you on your own for that one. And maybe you have done this a million times, and this vlogmas is not a tutorial like that. So I have stopped now where I have 8 stitches on each side. So you can decide if you want to go another 2 rounds before you do the Kitchener stitch, or you can do whatever you want to. I'm gonna do it now where I have 8 stitches on each side, and make sure your last row is a purl row, because now you're going to knit. The Kitchener stitch looks like knitted stitches. And did you know that the Kitchener stitch was named after Lord Kitchener, who was actually a military guy many years ago, and he didn't like to have seams in his socks, so he invented this method called the Kitchener stitch. Did you know that? I just heard that on a Danish podcast, so many Danish knitters know this already. So they're gonna say, you heard that on that podcast, and yes, I did. But anyway, I'm gonna do the Kitchener stitch now and show you the results afterwards. And then I have to go cook dinner. I showed you today some of the meal boxes that I get. So on Tuesday, I get meals sent to the door. It's not the meals are not done or anything. They just send me a recipe and the exact ingredients that I need. And it's just perfect. So this week I have ordered 2 different dishes and some Porto for Christmas and some Christmas dessert, the risalamande with cherry sauce. I ordered some of that so we can have that just during the week. And it's just the best thing when you're busy and when you have kids, and sometimes the kids don't want to have the same thing for dinner. And I just think it's such a drag that I have to, you know, figure out every day what are we having for dinner and then go get the groceries. This way, I go online to this company that has this service, and I can see what kind of dishes is available for the week. And then you pick out how many people it's for, and yeah, then they send you these boxes. And that's just the best thing. I have done it for a couple of weeks. I've done this before actually, and sometimes it's just a great way to get some new recipes and inspiration. And also that's where I got the Porto. So yeah. So they'll say, oh, we have bread this week, or we have wine, or you want to try this champagne or this whatever. So they have like different offers. And I'm not sponsored, so I'm not gonna, you know, say the name of the brand. it might show on the movie, and that's fine. But I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. And there are a million kinds of meal boxes here in Denmark. I have so much talk in me today. I'm gonna stop now and work on my kitten stitch, and I'll see you later. I am done. It looks like this. My husband just came to the window going, Anyway. So when you bind it off, it's kind of flat here in the top. So when you wash them and block them, you can just kind of round that a little bit. But this is perfect length for me. And yeah, I tried to explain in the Kitchener stitch tutorial how to avoid these pointy ears. I think it's a little hard actually, especially when you bind off and then you have the last 2 stitches. I think it's hard to not, you can see it's a little bit tricky there. But number 1 is almost done. Tomorrow we're working the thumb, so we have a little time to consider what color we want to use. I'm definitely not using a new skein. I'm not going to start a new skein. I have still have enough yarn in this color, so I'm thinking to actually just use the green one because that's the one on top. So I think it'll look, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will work some extra around in the blue one and actually just make it exactly like the mitten. You can let me know what you think will look the best down below. It's always nice to get some comments, and I really appreciate those of you who commented because I was in a bad mood yesterday, and I actually felt bad to drag that into the vlogmas because I wanted this to be a good place. But as someone wrote me, you know, that's just life. So when we're not all happy and perky all the time, usually I'm in a pretty good mood though, but yeah. And now I'm happy because I kind of figured out how to see people anyway. So when it is my birthday next week, I'll have just my parents and my brother here. So that is only that side of the family. And then on Saturday, we'll just see my husband's family. So I think everything is good. And of course, we're not going to see anyone if Nomi still has a cold. So don't worry. Okay, so that's it for now. I have to go make dinner and enjoy family time. So see you later. Let me know what you think about the thumb. And yeah, I'll see you later.